So you're thinking about getting a bachelor's in psychology. I'm Dr. Patrice Berry, licensed clinical psychologist, and here I share educational resources on a variety of topics. Today, I wanted to share what are some options if you're looking at getting a bachelor's in psychology. Depending on your college, it may either be a bachelor's of science or a bachelor of arts degree. Depending on what your interest is, you may be able to take some additional coursework in your desired field so that you can get a hang of if you really do want to go into finance or if you do want to go into forensic psychology, that you can take some of that coursework in undergrad to be exposed to it and get a feel for, is this really something that I'm passionate about? Is this something that I really enjoy? There is a picture that I found from the University of California, Berkeley campus that really broke down the different options very well. And I'm going to be talking more about the options listed there, and I will link it in the comments below. There are multiple fields that you can go into with a bachelor's in psychology. Some of those fields require graduate work, require additional schooling, and some of them don't. Some of those fields are business, law, clinical, tech, education, research, and medical fields. Within business, a degree in psychology could be a good fit for a career in human resources or marketing. And so getting a double major or a major and a major in business and a minor in psychology might be really helpful because there are lots of things in social psychology that go into business, or there are lots of things that somebody that's doing human resources needs to be aware of. So good communication. There are lots of things that psychology brings to a lot of different fields. If you're interested in law, understanding psychology might be a nice undergraduate foundation to then go off to law school, to become an attorney, or to get a degree in criminology. Within the field of psychology, there are also forensic psychologists, and understanding things about the law and understanding things about psychology are really important to those fields. Within tech, understanding the psychology of tech. So there are lots of different behind the scenes things that go in to understanding analytics, to analyzing data, to looking at human behavior online. And a degree in psychology may give you some information that would be helpful within that field. Within the field of education, becoming a teacher, guidance counselor, or a school social worker. So a degree in psychology may be a nice foundation to go on to do a master's in social work or to get a master's in counseling, to become a school counselor or a school psychologist. If you're interested in research or in neuropsychology, PhD programs would likely be a good fit for graduate work beyond the bachelor's in psychology. I received a bachelor's of science from Virginia Tech, and I took courses in Black studies, sociology, human development, and didn't take enough coursework in any of those to make it an official minor. I really wanted to dabble in a bunch of different things, and I didn't want to extend the amount of time that I spent in school. So I wanted to graduate in 4 years. I could have added an additional semester or added some additional time or done summer school in order to obtain an official minor, but really it wasn't needed for the graduate program that I was looking into. I was able to list the additional relevant coursework that I felt made me a good candidate for that program without having to have an official minor. Within the clinical field, there is social work, therapy, and then if you're interested in being a psychologist, the biggest difference between a master's level therapist, someone who is licensed as a clinical social worker, a licensed professional counselor, a licensed marriage and family therapist, and a psychologist is that psychologists do psychological testing. There are some states that have master's level psychologists where they take the same licensing exam that psychologists do, and they take additional coursework to be able to operate as a master's level psychologist. The state of Virginia, where I am, does not offer that. And the last field is the medical field. A degree in psychology could be helpful if you're interested in nursing, psychiatry, or becoming a medical doctor. And I enjoyed learning in school that the difference between a psychiatrist and a psychologist is a psychologist goes to graduate school and a psychiatrist goes to medical school. There are some states that allow psychologists to prescribe, Once again, my state of Virginia, that is not an option, and that is not something that I'm interested in. It is my understanding that within psychiatry, they typically attend the regular medical program to become a medical doctor and then do rotations and residencies that are specific to psychiatry to being able to prescribe psychiatric medication. That was an overview of some different fields that a degree in psychology might open you up to. A lot of those fields do require additional coursework. The ones that may not are business, tech. There are some degrees that you can get a well-paying job with a bachelor's in psychology, but if you want to do therapy or consider yourself a counselor or a therapist, typically some additional training and coursework like graduate school and additional licensure is required to be able to do that. And if that is what you want to do, it is worth it. If you have questions, you can put them in the comments, and I hope you have a great day.